Hello, hello.
Hey, man, thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. This is great to talk to you.
Yeah. So I haven't dug into season 3 yet of Yellowjackets, which is now on Paramount Plus and Showtime. And for those who don't know, Steven Kruger plays Coach Ben Scott. But I want to go back to before the series started. Maybe you got handed a script and maybe you started reading it. And it was like, okay, I'm the only adult in a group of teenage girls, and I'm in a plane crash with them. Oh, and I have a leg amputated. Oh, I'm also secretly gay. And then they start eating each other. I mean, how did you react? I mean, this series is so crazy. How did you react when you first read the script?
You know, when you lay it out like you just did, it actually sounds a lot more intimidating than I think it did at the first blush when I read it. I mean, here's the thing. The information was kind of given to me a little bit piecemeal, so it's not like I got everything at once. I will say, I remember I talk about this in interviews all the time. The first time I read this pilot script, it was truly one of the best pilot scripts I had ever read. And it was from writers that I knew already, so I knew how talented they were. I knew how creative they were, and I just knew immediately that this was something I wanted to be involved with. I knew that it was also a character, like you said, that was going to have a lot of different dimensions and a lot of different layers. I did not, I will admit, find out about the amputated leg thing until we were about to shoot season 1, which was almost a year, actually over a year from when we shot the pilot because of COVID and all the delays and everything that happened with that. So, yeah, I mean, it was just one thing after another as we got out there and we got further into this story where I was just like, oh, my gosh, this is a lot. At the same time, that's everything. That's what every actor dreams of, right? Like having a role like this that is so layered, is so multidimensional, and just really meaty that you can sink your teeth into.
You have described in some interviews as the filming of this, you've described it as grueling. Is that like mentally or is it physically because of where you're shooting and the things that the content you're shooting?
Honestly, both. Yeah, it's a combination of both. I mean, I haven't worked on something that is so both mentally and physically demanding, really, I think, in my entire career. I mean, yes, so on the physical side, obviously I've got my character in particular has a little added dimension with, having an amputated leg. So, of course, I had to spend a lot of time figuring out how do I get around and using crutches. And then you add in the fact that we're, for the most part, shooting outdoors, like in a real forest. So, we're dealing with the elements. Sometimes we're working crazy hours. We're working overnights. And then you, of course, just, the content, the material that we're working on it can be very, very heavy, psychologically demanding material. And to really put yourself in that headspace, it just requires a lot of energy and a lot of effort. And so the beauty of our show is because it's almost like two different shows in one, as you know, where we've got the present day timeline and then we flash back to our timeline in the 90s when we're out in the wilderness. The way that they shoot it is really kind and nice to the actors because we essentially do like a week on, a week off, and they just kind of trade off between the two different timelines. So we do get a good amount of time to recover between our shooting periods. But yeah, it's a grueling grind for sure.
What do you do to kind of clear your headspace? Or is that something you do at all? I mean, I know some actors may want to stay with that character when they have that week off, but do you do anything to kind of clear it up and maybe reset?
There's a fine line, right? Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, there's a fine line of you don't want to completely just get out of the headspace because, yeah, you're there for 5 months and you've got an entire arc over the course of a full season. So it's not like you want to completely abandon the character and all the things that you're thinking about and all the things that you're going through. So I kind of just put it on the back burner a little bit, mentally. I kind of just shift everything to the back when I'm off. I'll still be letting things percolate. I'll still be kind of coming up with ideas. I'll still be working a little bit on the days that I'm off on maybe the next script or where I think I am in the arc of the season. But for the most part, yeah, I try to kind of leave it alone when we're off. And luckily, we shoot in Vancouver, and Vancouver, especially during the summer, has a multitude of things that can occupy your mind outside of work. So trying to get outside, trying to decompress a little bit. Shake it off, exercise, all those normal things really, really helps.
Well, we thought we were going to lose Coach Ben last season. It was I don't want to give spoilers just in case someone hasn't caught up on season 2. Pretty emotional scene.
I think everybody's always constantly worried that we're going to lose Coach Ben.
Yeah.
I'd say that's a recurring theme of the show.
I am quite surprised Coach Ben is still with us at this point. And I'm hoping for the best possible scenario. I'm hoping for is that Coach Ben, let's say, escapes from where he is and is taken in by a native Canadian tribe into their community where he doesn't want to have anything to do with the outside world, and they hide him there. But then he finally comes back near the end to confront the girls. That's what I'm hoping.
I like that. That is a pretty good fan theory. I think you would have a really nice home on some of these Reddit threads that they have for our show.
What is have you read some of the threads in Reddit or online about fan theories? And if so, what are one of the craziest ones you've seen?
I have, yeah. I mean, there's a very fine line there of like a healthy relationship with interaction with fans and not getting too far into the rabbit hole, because you can just, I mean, really, truly, you can go down every rabbit hole possible on the internet, and it gets into some pretty dark territory. But I find it enjoyable from time to time to just kind of like check in, see what people are thinking about the episodes that are airing, see where people think it's going. I mean, it runs the gambit of crazy conspiracy theories that people have come up with. I think my favorite one from this season is everybody is aware at this point that Hilary Swank is one of our guest stars. She'll be here a little bit later in the season. And I've seen quite a few theories that talk about her potentially being Coach Ben's sister. And she has come back to torment some of the team.
I'm looking forward to it, and I want to talk about you what you do personally. You've recently finished a film, like this, directing a film. Is this your first time directing?
It is, yeah. I had my directorial debut on a short film that I worked on pretty much the entire second half of last year, and then we finally were able to get out and shoot it in December of last year. So we are right smack in the middle of post-production, and I can tell you without a doubt it's one of the most challenging things I've done in my career. I don't know how eager I will be to do this exact same thing again, where I'm both executive producing and directing. But it's been an absolutely incredible experience. The amount that I've learned, it feels like I've gone to film school over the last 6 to 8 months or so. So I'm really looking forward to the finished product coming out.
Do you have a working title yet, or estimated time of release?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've had a title for a while. It's called Leaving the Light. It is essentially a young mother takes her 3-year-old daughter on a road trip towards a safe zone in the middle of an apocalyptic event. And I'm hoping that we're going to be finished with the film completely by about mid-March, maybe third week of March. And from there, we'll see. I will probably end up going the festival circuit, as well as looking for a place to get it distributed.
Jeez. Wow. Maybe try a comedy or something for your next project, man. It's
Hey, you know what? From your lips to God's ears, I've been talking to my reps about that. I was like, maybe some lighter fare, for the next thing.
Yeah. Well, Steven Kruger, Yellowjackets is just an amazing show. And you mentioned it. It's really well written, and like I said, you pair that with the caliber of acting in it. It's pretty damn entertaining. It's riveting, and I appreciate your time, man. Good luck in season 3. Good luck, Coach Ben. I hope my theory is fairly close, and good luck with your film also.
Thank you so much, Mike. It's been great. All right, cheers.